Alright, so today I'm showing you guys my entire collection of all my homemade projects. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail about each one because that would take forever, and if you want to find out more about each project, what I'm going to do is in the description of this video, I will have links to the videos of every single project here. So starting off, we have the Suzuki GS500 dune buggy. I still need to paint this. I want to paint the frame bright neon orange and paint everything else black. I think that would look incredible the way the way it is now. So moving on to the dual engine go-kart. This is a blast to drive. Here's the 2-speed go-kart with my homemade 2-speed transmission that it actually works, surprisingly enough. It is homemade and it does work. It's works really well too. We also have the mini bike, which I put a Predator 212cc engine on and a torque converter. We have my newest addition to the whole fleet, which is a mini motorcycle. Now I did modify this from a different project. All I did was shorten the frame, remove a gearbox and all that kind of stuff, but it looks a lot better. And I did also add a torque converter on this project as well. We also have the shifter cart. Now this, like a lot of my projects, this just once I was done building it, once I was done making the videos about it, I put it behind my shed and I just let it sit there, and it's been sitting there rusting ever since. It's missing an engine, but all I would need to do to get this to run is just replace it. It's just throw a no engine on there and it's good to go. Also pump up the back tires. Now here's my dirt bike that I spent over $500 in parts to fix this thing up. It's not really running at the moment. I tried to get it running like a couple weeks ago and it wouldn't fire up. There's no Kickstarter, so therefore I have to bump start it, which makes it a nightmare. So not sure what to do with it, but it more just it just sits in my shed, you know, not doing anything with it. Now here's my motorized drift trike. It's more of like a drift trike and a trike hybrid, but the reason for that is it does have normal tires, but they are flat. So they're stiff enough to where you can get pretty good speed with it, but they are flat, so therefore you can still drift around corners. So it's more of like a hybrid between a normal trike and a drift trike, which for me, I would rather drive this than a drift trike because you have a lot more control with this and it goes a lot faster, but you still have the feeling of being able to drift. So for me, that's a lot better than a drift trike. We also have my lifted go-kart. I think this is like the most popular project on my channel, and right now it just sits outside. I don't really do much with it, and I did throw a tarp over the engine, but everything else just sits outside and rusts away. We also have my mini ATV, which this thing's incredibly fun, but I have taken a couple parts off of it, and yeah, if I wanted to get it running again, I would have to replace, you know, some parts on here to get it running. Also, I'd have to inflate the tires and get a new centrifugal clutch, because the clutch right now, the bushing in there has completely worn away to almost nothing. Now, next, we have my homemade mini bike. With this project, all I wanted to do was just make the smallest mini bike I could, and I think I achieved it because I don't think I can get anything smaller than this. I could make it, you know, shorter, but that wouldn't really accomplish that much. So it still runs, it still works, but it's not really practical. It doesn't have any brakes, and you know, it doesn't really, it's not that fast. So it's more of like a like just a cool thing to have. Now everything up here, here's all the stuff that used to run and used to work but doesn't have an engine anymore, or just doesn't run completely. This is the frame from the dual engine trike that I made a while back. If I have a picture of it, I will throw it up on the screen right now. It's this frame has also been just sitting behind my shed, you know, rotting away. This over here is my 2-speed mini motorcycle that I made a while back. And this actually burst into flames at one point and burned down when my friend was riding it. And I did rebuild it, and, you know, I did ride it for a little bit after rebuilding it, and then I ended up just taking the motor back off, throwing it on a different project, using the tires for something else and all that kind of stuff. So I still keep the frame, and I still, you know, want to eventually rebuild it, but still it's just a frame for right now. This is where it all started. This is my very first mini bike. Now, it was actually, the engine that came off of it was a 3.5 horsepower Briggs & Stratton engine, and didn't really run that well, didn't have that much power, and me and my friends just had a lot of fun with it, just, you know, playing around with it. So this is the project that started it all. Over here we have the mini riding mower. It's basically just a push mower that I converted it into a riding mower. It wasn't really that successful, but it was still pretty fun to drive around. It was incredibly slow, but again, it was just more, you know, more for kicks. Now over here we have this is actually a little dirt bike that I found at the scrapyard for like maybe 12 bucks. And it was actually complete when I bought it. It had a 49cc engine, and it actually ran, but I was a little tired of the little 49cc engine on there, so I stretched the frame a little bit and I threw a Predator on here, but didn't really work out that well, so therefore I just took the Predator off and you know, put it on something else. So here's the frame, at least. I don't really know what to do with it. I do have an idea about, you know, what to do with the tires. I do want to eventually possibly make a small off-roading mini bike with those tires, because they're actually pretty good tires. They have disc brakes on them, and you know, almost no wear on there. So yeah, still want to do something with the tires though. Now over here is the drift trike that I made. This is the one without the engine. I actually have an engine for it. I just haven't put it on yet because this just sits outside and I don't really do anything with it. Over here is the one-wheel peel of wonder. I know a couple of you are asking about me making a one-wheel peel go-kart, and actually here it is. I actually already made it. I just really haven't made that many videos about it, and yeah, it's this is not the best looking frame, to say the least. So I'd have to do a lot of work to try and fix it up. Over here is my homemade dirt bike, which is more of like a concept idea. The way the frame is, with the engine and the rear tire connected with in one frame, and the seat and the whole rest of it being a separate frame. And I had that idea a while back, and you know, it actually works really well. But again, this is just another project where I got tired of it and took the engine off, wanted to put it on something else. So I still have the frame, don't really know what to do with it. And last but not least, over here we have my failed attempt of a scooter. This is when I was making this video about this, I kept saying in the video that this may go up to 55 miles an hour, and that was not true. It barely made maybe 50 miles an hour, so yeah, it didn't really work that well, and yeah, it's kind of a failed project to begin with. So I believe that's all of them. So yeah, this is definitely a lot of stuff, and I'm running out of room to put all this stuff in. So most of the stuff that I build ends up just, you know, sitting outside and rotting away, mainly because I'm just running out of room to put all this stuff in. So, yeah, I'm not sure what to do with all this stuff. So, that is one dilemma that I'm having right now. Now, this is definitely not every project I've ever made, but this is all the ones that I have ever kept. So if you're interested in anything in this video, what I will be doing is in the description below in this video, I will be adding the links to every video of every project in this video. So hopefully you guys liked it, and yeah, I guess thanks for watching, subscribe, and have a nice day.